So there were some new toy reveals today for Transformers 5 the last night. A lot of stuff that we didn't expect. And what kind of affects me heavily because it was something that I was kind of waiting for and I was kind of almost doubting at some point. Well, it was something I was almost doubting because we were into two waves of reveals for the last night with no sign of any kind of hot rod toy.
Mm.
And then now we have we have one reveal and it's all the hot rod toys.
Yeah, pretty
And,
much.
like of every scale. And I was almost honestly I was kind of hoping that he would be a character that maybe would get one or two toys max and not get like the crazy you look at the first two Transformers movies, 2007 and Revenge of the Fallen, and how every single character would get every single price point and every single gimmick and every single version and robot replicas and robot heroes and Voyager, Leader, Premium, da da da.
They would all get a push.
Yeah, they would regardless
And
of
what a push.
yeah, regardless. I always mention Sideswipe, where it was like, here's a character that literally said almost nothing in the movie, maybe three lines, and yet he had like a billion toys.
And he
And
looked cool.
no, he looked cool. That
He's
no,
skating
I'm
around, slashing people in half and
I'm
everything.
not going to take that away from him, but it's just like it was just that was something that I was like, people are always like, don't you wish Hot Rod was in the movie? I'm like, yeah, but if he's going to be handled like Sideswipe, where doesn't really look like the original character, personality doesn't even matter, and then he's going to have a billion toys, then what's
Hmm.
the point? Well, here we are. It's the last night. We got a recent leak of a whole bunch of images of the new wave of stuff, which people are calling Wave 3, but it's also directly connected to what is called the Mission to Cybertron stuff, which is that's all going to be Toys R Us exclusive stuff. There's a few stuff that's also Walmart exclusive stuff. We'll go through it just one at a time. We're just going to talk about the hot rod stuff and one other one which I found interesting. But there was a whole bunch of reveals,
Hmm.
most of them being repaints, which is seems to be really the name of the game.
Which
With
is weird. I
yeah,
mean, like
the
the
last night.
fifth. It's
You,
like
you,
the fifth movie, and you're getting something that came out from the first movie
oh,
in
dude,
one of this waves.
there
It blows my
there's
mind.
there's molds here that are from the Transformer Prime line. There's molds
From
here that are
Energon
yeah.
or
Well,
Superlink, I mean.
yeah, it's Galaxy Force in this case, yeah. Um, but it's just we'll get into that. So
All right.
the first we have a reveal of a Legion class hot rod, which is what we know as the Legend scale. What's interesting about this one is that it seems that there's kind of this conflict with the character and how the mold is being handled and how the character's alt mode is being handled because we seem to have two different kind of Ferraris that are being used for this character.
Wait,
And
Ferrari? What do you mean
excuse me, not
Ferrari?
Ferrari, Lamborghini.
Lamborghini.
Lamborghini, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
And it's just I'm just totally confused by how they're handling this because while it seems like in the movie from what we've seen thus far, the Lamborghini that's being used is the Centurino or whatever.
I haven't
Uh,
been up to date on my cars in a while.
yeah,
So,
well, it's again, it's one of those Ferraris with a long Italian name, essentially.
Lamborghinis.
Excuse me, Lamborghini's
It's
fuck.
the Angry Bull.
Yeah, not the angry bull, not the
Not the
not
stallion, the
not
Angry
the
Bull.
stallion on 2 feet.
The stallion
Imagine
told
I'm a mechanic, but
the
either way,
stallion told the bull, "Make your own car if you want to be better." And he's like, "I'll show you."
and they
Oh no,
actually
no,
are.
he said stick to making tractors. That was it. And
Yeah,
Lamborghini was like, "I'll show you." And
there you
and he
go.
started making cars.
So essentially, within the movie, from what it seems like, we have the Centurino Lamborghini. That's the Lamborghini that's used for the animation model in the movie and stuff for the CG. But we're having this like flip flop of choice of designs when it comes to the toys. Now, like I said before, I'll start with the Legion class. The Legion class one is more based on this like older Centurino, and
Well, I think the Centurino is like a brand new car. Like they haven't used that name at all. I don't
yeah, but
think.
it's like you look at the way that it's shaped. This one,
Like it's another Lamborghini. They're kind of basing it off of. but the actual name, the actual like model name, I couldn't tell you.
Well, because there's the other one that's the Aventador, which is what the other one is based on. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre, like that they're using two different kinds of Lambos to represent the same character in the same time, and and I'm not talking like a Bumblebee movie one situation where he's an old Camaro and then he upgrades to a new one.
Right.
This is something where it's, unless this happens in the movie, and I'll be completely wrong.
No, I
But
doubt it.
yeah, I know,
I
I
very
know,
much doubt it.
yeah, I just get a feeling that it's just like they're like, you know what, we're going to use this, this Lambo for this scale and this Lambo for this scale, and so the Legion class one, it uses that, that old school kind of one, and it has a spoiler, which it really fits with the Hot Rod character because one of Hot Rod's traits is having that huge spoiler. This so far, this Legion one here is going to be a Walmart exclusive. That's what we know thus far. Um, we don't know much else aside from that. There is a bio that was written in the press release, but it's really just like he's brash and like nothing that's kind of spoilery,
Hmm.
but at the same time nothing that's like that really gives an outlook of what this character is. So
He's
yeah,
a typical cavalier.
yep, there you go. He's going to be a Walmart exclusive. Then there's a Legion 2-pack, and this one is really interesting, where it comes with a Bumblebee, but it comes with a stealth kind of themed hot rod that has the flame emblem on the hood of the car, and he has a yellow spoiler. Now, the only part of me is going like, if you're going to go that far, why don't you just paint them all red then? You know? Like
No.
why did they even bother, to like, do the yellow spoiler and the
Which
flame
version is
deco.
that?
This is the 2-pack that's there.
With
Legion 2-pack with
Legion two
Bumblebee.
pack. Okay.
You see it?
Mission to Cybertron. All
Yeah,
right, there
yeah,
it is. There it is. I
it's
see
part
it.
of the mission for Cybertron, the mission for Cybertron like sub series, which those are going to be all Toys R Us exclusives. And so it's using the exact same mold, that Legion mold, but now this one here is just oddly painted. So there's right away off the bat we got two Legion Hot Rod toys using the same mold, each one of them being exclusive to each of those retailers. Then you get the flip and change Hot Rod, and this is
Mm.
where we get into the more lazy kind of stuff, which is the flip and change Hot Rod is just straight up the flip and change Lockdown from TF4 Age of Extinction, except with minor retools like the new head and just this and that. So, but otherwise, and the problem is that Lockdown, he was a more or less gray and silvery kind of Lambo.
Yep.
And that's kind of what Hot Rod is too, So like
Sneaky, sneaky.
in alt mode, it's more or less the same almost looking character, except for like minor, orangey yellow or excuse me, orangey red accents all over it. It's kind of lazy, which is kind of a shame for, at least in my opinion, a character that's a little more top tier. And then after with that one, then you have the turbo changer one, which is another one of those like auto transforming ones, and it's the same thing. It just used the turbo changer lockdown, and it was retooled. And the only case in this one is I was looking carefully at it, and it looks like it's just the face that was changed. Everything else is just straight up the old lockdown toy. And
This is
then the one that,
the hot rod car and the hot rod robot one.
yeah. And then the one that bothers me the most is now we have the Premier Edition, which is our deluxes, our overpriced $29.99 deluxes that come in boxes. Deluxe Autobot Hot Rod. Again, hey, I've already played with this toy because this is, once again, it's the lockdown toy. Mind you, this one, it looks like they did a lot more retooling just to make it look a little more unique, but it's, at the end of the day, it's still the lockdown toy.
But
So,
but you're paying more for one less gun, no?
oh well,
Did,
yeah, it's
didn't
probably
that
not.
lockdown toy come with the giant
Yeah,
sniper that you put on his head?
that's the thing. This one, that toy came with a huge gun. There's been no indication at all that any of these Hot Rod toys or any of these Hot Rod characters at this point have any kind of gun. It looks at this point that he might have some kind of melee weapon, but nothing has been shown, and he might just be just straight up, you know, weaponless. Because the only image that we've really seen, it looks a little too digital for me to be the final figure.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you just look at that and then look at the lockdown toy, you see a lot of the comparisons and the transformation, the feet and stuff. So it's kind of a
Because
sad.
wasn't that lockdown toy, I think, the deluxe, or
It was a
maybe
deluxe.
maybe the other one, like, wasn't that like Asia exclusive? No,
No, no, no.
no.
There,
Okay, okay,
there
never
was there
mind.
was a retail deluxe lockdown toy
Mm.
that was. I mean, for us, I think it was 17.99, and now the same toy with one less accessory, less plastic, put now in a box, and now it's going to be 29.99
All right,
Canadian, which is
all
like,
right.
man, that's balls.
No
That's fucking crazy.
thanks.
Yeah,
Sorry to say.
that's expensive, and again, considering I'm a big fan of this character, and I'm probably going to want to own two of a lot of these. That's going to be expensive, and that's a hard pill to swallow. And I mean, I just want to just mention this as a little side note is that all of this stuff that has come out, well, that's going to come out. It's not even the first movie hot rod toy, which was back in Dark of the Moon. There was a 3 pack of movie Bumblebee and movie Soundwave, and it came with a bonus movie Rodimus toy, which all it was just a repaint of the Legends Rodimus from Classics, but they called it a movie Rodimus toy, and so like it's I don't know it's all so weird. Again, the Michael Bay continuity is just everything's all over the place and nothing makes any sense anymore.
Hmm.
Like I feel like every single movie is like you thought you know something about Earth's past. Well, surprise, surprise. Like movie one was you thought you knew something about the Hoover Dam. Well,
Uh huh.
surprise, surprise. Movie two was you thought you knew about Egypt. Well,
Yeah.
surprise, surprise. Movie three was you thought you knew about like our government and it's more specifically Chernobyl. You know,
Right.
but surprise, surprise. Movie four, same shit. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's
isn't like that always reminds me of was it Armada or was it Superlink? Where they're like, oh, actually the real thing that happened with the world is this, and Transformers are here, and blah blah blah. Like that's what it always reminds me of, where
Yeah, but it's been five
they
movies
rewrite what
now, and now
like
it's going to be the
conventional
same.
science.
It's going to be the same thing with this one, where it seems like it's like you think you know, like China, and you think you know the medieval times and stuff. Well, it's
Like
like
happy, like to be very honest, happy to say, I like that Transformers Animated did it well, where it took that like, oh well, because we had Transformers, the world's a little bit different. Where the fact that, oh well, since Professor Sumdac found Megatron's head, he reverse engineered his technology and made tachyons and stuff like that to, to better the world kind of thing.
but
So
the but
as opposed to like, well, Egypt wasn't really humans, it was Transformers. Hoover Dam wasn't really humans, it was Transformers. The moon wasn't really humans, it was Transformers. The Knights of the Round weren't really human, it was
But that's what
Transformers.
bothers me is that when one thing is a TV series and that's the premise of the entire TV series, that's fine. But movies are usually, and I don't want to say movies are standalone entities, but when you have movies, there's something that's more you're trying to tell a beginning, middle, and end of a story in that 2 hour frame, and then you try to tell either a slight ongoing of the previous movie,
Hmm.
or you tell a brand new story while still keeping in a continuity. This one, it just feels like it's like the last writer is just stealing the idea of the first writer for 5 movies now, where it's like,
Because the thing is that they always go back in time.
oh
And they
no,
just
yeah,
keep and they just keep going back. Oh well, the Hoover Dam. Oh well, the moon, the first moon
well,
landing.
well,
Oh well, Egypt. Oh well,
Well, yeah, Chernobyl, and I just feel like okay, then it's going to be Transformers 6. It's like, hey, did you know the Statue of Liberty really was a Cybertronian? And then Transformers movie 7, it's gonna be like, hey, did you know like
the Stone
let,
Age.
let's the Washington Monument is really a transformer. It's like it's going to get to a point that it's like, oh hey, the Mayans, and their temples, yeah, those are actually transformed. Everything is just like you think and it's supposed to be controversial and this big twist and shot, but it's not a twist because you've done it for 4 movies already.
Hmm.
So, but anyways, that we're getting off topic, but it's just like that's always been something that I've never really been a fan with the writing of when it came to the movies, where it's just it's not a twist because you've been doing it,
For
since
so long.
for 10 years now
Yeah, yeah.
practically. 10 years. 10
We're
years of
good.
this writing. We're good. You know what? Oh God, I'm not gonna miss you, Bay. I won't. Um,
What do you mean? I thought he was back for like ever.
yeah, I
The
know.
next 15.
Yeah, I
The
wouldn't be
next
so.
15.
I wouldn't
Don't
be
you
surprised.
fear, we got stories for years. Like, Marge becomes a robot. Don't you fear.
We got stories for
How about
years.
a crazy wedding?
Either way, so the last thing we just wanted to talk about was also with this big toy reveal. Um, there was an interest. It's Transformers 5, the last night, where 60% of the line is repaints. So here is out of nowhere repaint that no one was expecting, and again, from someone like me who's also a bit of a continuity hound, it's going to make even less sense. You have Cybertron the last night, Mission to Cybertron, Toys R Us exclusive, converting Cybertron planet, aka
Yay.
a repaint of the Cybertron Galaxy Force Primus toy.
Which is
Now,
a very weird repaint.
a very weird repaint. Very, I have no idea um, where they're pulling these colors from. Like, what is really, because Lord knows Cybertron in the movies up to this point of what we've seen has never been this G2 looking. You know,
Mm.
like this is like G2 to this is like a G2 toy with its like
Maybe Primus is Unicron. Maybe that's where the orange is coming from.
I well
That's a
I
dumbass stretch. I'm gonna
I
admit that
posted I posted on
wholeheartedly. But why not?
well
We've been everything else today.
I posted on my Twitter how much he reminds me of Armada Cheetor. Like how he looks like it's insane how much the coloring scheme looks like Armada Cheetor. And I mean, there's no connection there, but it's just like it really shows just how preposterous. Because Armada had a lot of weird colors and stuff,
Hmm.
and yet here's this expensive 149.99 Toys R Us exclusive toy, which by the way, that's also insanely priced because the original Primus, when it was from Cybertron, now mind you, the Cybertron release was in 2006, and it came with a Unicron head. That was a 59.99 toy. That's how much it cost. It was
Wow.
59.99. I don't know how it almost tripled in value. I mean, obviously oil prices, must have gone through the roof, and we've went through 3 recessions without me knowing.
And
But
civil wars in the Middle East. Don't
yeah,
forget about
I
that.
don't know, but somehow now Transformers are of that same price point are now triple the price. Maybe because it's a Toys R Us exclusive, so they're using that as an excuse too. I don't know, but that's crazy how much it is. I was expecting $100. I wasn't expecting $150. That's 150 American. So that
Hmm.
means that means here it's going to be like a $200 toy, which is makes no sense because again, I bought Primus mint in box. I still have a few mint in box ones because then they went on clearance at one point for $30. How much did you pay for yours, Wendell, second hand?
Oh, I can't remember.
Probably
Maybe
cheap as shit.
50 or so. I can't
There
remember. I have
there
to
you
double
go.
check.
So like I mean, that's
Maybe
that's
less than that, but I
that's
think it's about
ludicrous.
50.
It really is. I mean, it's interesting the colors, but at the same time, like I don't know how anyone is going to bring themselves to pay that much for that.
What about the re-releases? No?
Well, this mold has had very limited releases where it's not that it got a lot of repaints, it's that it got a lot of repackages where
Because I'm just counting technically two
well
off the
cuz
top of my head. I could be wrong. I'm very much wrong. I'm very sure I'm wrong.
the very first initial release of this Primus toy by Cybertron, uh, it came with a Unicron head.
Hmm.
Then the second release of it came without a Unicron head. It was just the straight up figure with the keys and the chip square or the Omega lock. What you pick your side of the country that you want to give it its title. Excuse me, the side of the world. Then after that, then they did another release of it where it came with a bunch of mini cons in the
Mm.
box with it. Then and again, still the same toy though, no change in the paint scheme. Then the Japanese version came out, and the Japanese version also exactly the same as the American version, but it came in a really nice G1 inspired box.
Right.
And the thing is, G1 in Japan, everything was numbered back then, where it would be like Autobot 1, Autobot 2, Autobot 3, where Primus was 0. and it was that was
Ah.
which was pretty cool that they did that. So that's like a really cool box. Then the first repaint of it, and this is the one that you're referring to, which you
Hmm.
mentioned in one of the previous shows, which you had the Unicron and Primus with the fancy boxes that complement each other.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
which was for the Transformers 2010 line, and it was Creator Primus and Destroyer Unicron. That one was they gave it kind of like a metallic finish, but it actually wasn't really that nice looking. Like a lot of times when people see photos of it online, it's the stock photos of how it looks, but it
Hmm.
actually doesn't look like that in real life. It's a lot more copper looking, and it's not really that pretty. I still feel that the more cheaper mass release one is the nicer one of the bunch,
Right.
and that's it. And that's it. If I had to say there was other repaints of it, is I own a bootleg of it that's all in red, and it comes in on a humongously oversized card back that's like the size of like a kitchen table, you know.
Wow. What the hell?
Yeah, I found it in Chinatown, and I think I paid
Which Chinatown? Our
our
Chinatown?
Chinatown.
No way.
You,
How
you,
big? Like, was full, like proper sized, or was it small, or was it bigger?
oh no,
Does he does
it's.
it peg in well, or it's super
I didn't
loose?
take it off the card back
Oh my god.
because it was. I saw it. They had it.
It'll
They had it.
disintegrate. It'll
Here's the thing.
disintegrate.
Oh yeah, well one thing is looking at the plastic, it looks like it's that crappy plastic that Chinatown was infamous for. They
Hmm.
had it in red and they had it in yellow. And so they had them at $40 and it was on this like comically huge card back. I have to take a photo of this thing. I'll take a photo once and I'll
You
post it on
should.
Twitter. And it came on this comically huge. I probably should since the recent news of this with the weird colors. So, and then I was like, you know what? I bought it. I went home. I bought the red one because I was like, oh, hot rod, haha, because
Yeah.
Prime is hot. I went home and then I'm like, man, I probably should have got that yellow one too. But I wasn't gonna like spend $80 in Chinatown on bootlegs. But then I was like, oh, maybe I should go back. And then when I went back, it wasn't there anymore. So I was like, and
The
that was
store
it.
or the toy?
The toy, the store is still there.
The
The
store
to-
or the toy?
the store is still there. I'll after the show I'll mention which one it is, but because no one listening is going to know exactly what I'm talking
It's
about.
funny
But
because you'd be like, "Oh no, the store's gone." No, Homer, it's over there. Oh, hello.
oh, that one there,
Yeah, when he buys the doll,
yeah, where it just mysteriously disappeared. But
he's like, "No, it's over there."
it's just it's absolutely crazy the price that this one costs, and I don't know. I did I
And we don't
again
even know what it comes with, except the Omega Lock.
it
Probably
looks
the
like it
key.
comes with the Omega Lock. It's going to have to come with the key to activate 90% of the gimmicks on it.
Yeah.
The Omega Lock is needed because you can't transform it without it. Uh,
Right.
the keys you'll have to have them with because otherwise none of the pop-up gimmicks are going to go off unless they retooled this toy. I'm trying to look at the
Which I
images here,
doubt.
and it doesn't look like they retooled anything or
I don't
retooled
see why
it.
they would. And the planet shows you with its key.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
if you
key.
click on the planet toy, like when it's in
Oh,
planet
there we.
mode,
Okay,
it's right
so
there. The key's right
and the
there with the
key and
Omega
the
Lock.
key. What they used this time, they took the mold from the Cybertron Optimus Prime Galaxy Force Optimus Prime toy, which has a key that's shaped like the Matrix. Okay, at least
Mm.
that's kind of cool, and they did it in clear blue. But yeah, I don't know. It just again, I love that mold. I love to death that mold, but it's just that's an expensive pill to swallow with that kind of a weird color.
And it's
If it
also
was like
got Cybertron writing on it, or is that
yeah, well,
Cybertronian writing? Is that no
that's Cybertronian, and that's actually part of the mission to
original toy?
Cybertron. No, that's part of the mission to Cybertron gimmick.
Mm.
Is that all the toys have some kind of Cybertronian glyph on them, and then you go online and translate it.
Right.
All of them have that
I'm
kind of
looking
gimmick.
at the toy right now off the shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any writing on it. I don't
Well,
think so.
if you look in the same news post, they have the mission for Cybertron Deluxe Optimus 2-pack.
Mm-hmm.
If you click on that one and you look at the Protoform one, you see there's hieroglyphs all over it and stuff. So it's interesting. It's weird that they do that, but I just wanted to just talk about just those two. Anything else you want to mention on it?
Um, yay, it's coming back. Didn't Unicron come back over and over and over and over and over? At least that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, and there's another one coming actually, again of that same Armada mold.
Exactly. Milk,
So
milk, milk.
milk it to death. Well, that's TF5. Like again, like I've said, it's not over exaggeration. It feels like 60% of this line thus far has been repaints.
Like, I am surprised that there's a prime sound wave in this line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. It's
sound wave. Yep, sound wave. Sound tape.
yeah.
Yep, sound. Yep. I am surprised. That blows the crap out of my mind. And he has the prowl gun on top of it.
Yeah, he comes with Prowl's gun from yeah, you're talking about the Legends one, right?
Yeah, man.
Well,
I'm like, what is going on? I'm
there's
in a
the prime
backwards universe.
the prime Soundwave is there. If you look to the left of it, the Megatron one comes with Breakdown from Prime.
Yep, yep,
And
yep,
I don't know
yep.
I don't know what character this is supposed to be. Let me take a look here.
Like,
Optimus
it's
Prime.
such a weird.
I know it's a very weird uh
It
very
feels like
weird.
I'm in an alternate universe. It really does.
Oh, here we go. See, this makes even less sense because the Legion class toy here that's supposed to be using the breakdown mold from Prime is Berserker, which is a completely different mold when it's a deluxe. Like it's nothing is consistent here. It's so weird. But
Can't deal with it.
whatever. Anyways, we'll end this topic. It's so weird.